want to, okay, so y'all have to answer that little question. Don't worry, I'm not going to put you on social media or anything like that. So I'm so grateful to be able to be here with you guys and share this tonight. I didn't prepare something like formal because it's just what I do. So I'm just going to share what I do, and I'm sure that you know, Emily and probably some of you might even have even a better system or a better way. So please feel free to like share what you do as well. But I have been doing, we had started actually using Facebook parties before all the issues that have come up for the world in the last year and a half. So we have been doing them for a while, and pretty much I'm not going to tell you anything like earth-shattering new. I've definitely learned from the best. So this is not like, oh, I came up with this. I am going to show you our team website, which you are so more than welcome to use anything from. And I'll give you the password and all that if you want it, but please check with your upline. Like we always say, you know, I mean, I know some of you are your upline, but check with your upline, you know, and it's nothing like, it's not a new, you know, system. Like we were just saying, our system is 40 faces. This is just a method that we use. And this is just something that we've tried to streamline as a team so that it's really simple for somebody to come in and set up a Facebook party, and they know what to do beforehand, they know what to do after, and all those things. So first I want to tell you what I think is the most important piece of anything like this. And it's exactly what we used to do, like Emily said, when we were in person, and we used to do the little salt scrub at the sink. Do you remember that, Emily? Like we would have the little awaken salt scrub. Cynthia probably remembers that too, if you've been in a while, some of you. So when people would come into that presentation, the goal of having the salt scrub at the sink wasn't to, you know, oh, Arbonne. It was to ask them questions, you know, so how do you know the hostess? You know, how many kids do you have? You know, and those kind of same things still apply from an in-person thing to a Facebook event. So the number one most important thing that you're going to do is connect with people. And that word connect is the most important piece. And so I would just say, before I even show you any of the how, I just want to tell you what sort of our mindset around a Facebook event. And so for me, I do a lot of them. I do at least 8 a month, usually more, because I'm usually I did one today at noon. You know, I had a few last week. And so for me, a Facebook event, what it's for is just connecting, right? We're building a network. So it's just helping connect me to other people that I wouldn't normally connect to. And Andrea, who is my upline, Andrea Rominger, always says, I love how she says this. She says, you know, if I said, let's say, you know, Cynthia, you were a client of mine, and I said, okay, to myself, I'm just going to start reaching out to all Cynthia's friends, and I'm just going to try to friend them, and I'm just going to see if they will like friend me back, and I'm just going to start a conversation with them. That would be weird if I just did that. But if Cynthia has a Facebook event and invites them, now I have a reason to reach out, and now it's in a non-weird way. So just kind of look at the actual event like that. It's just a way to connect us so that there's something. And so the most important piece that I think is, as soon as the Facebook event is open and people start accepting the invitation, is I try to go ahead and friend request them, and I am starting a conversation with them. So I am creating the know me, like me, trust me right away. That's what I was actually, right before this, I was doing some of that with a Facebook event today. I was going back and just, you know, connecting with people and just saying, I was talking to a girl actually right before this, and I had to stop the conversation because she's in Louisiana. Are you doing the event in a group page or an event page? Yes, I'm about to tell you that, yes, about the how. And that's the most of this call. I'll show you exactly how we do them, okay, and how we set them up. And then y'all, our Facebook, I mean, our team website is really well done. I think it's not because I do it, because I don't, but smarter people than me do our team website. But I was just in conversation with a girl before this, because she lives in Louisiana. And so we were just talking about the storm. So you're just making friends, you're connecting. So that's the most important piece by far of anything. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what we do, like the how, but I definitely, if I'm getting into this and you're like, wait, though, that's not what we wanted, let me know, okay? But I'm gonna share my screen. I do have it ready, up and going for y'all. To show you, let me drag it up to my top screen here. Okay, Can you guys see Success and Simplicity Nations?
Yes.
Y'all see that? Okay. I always have to double check that, that I have two screens and sometimes they're all like that. Okay, so this is our team's website, Success in Simplicity Nations. That's just what we call ourselves as nations. And if you go over here to team resources, that's where everything is that you guys would want. We send people here to our landing page, but team resources. And so we're going to go there. And the password is 4 little letters, ENVP, like Executive National Vice President. And so that's the password for all the resources. We've been kind of stripping it down a little bit lately to make it even more simple. I don't know why it's not going. Oh, wait, hold on just a second, unless somebody's messing. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is our team resources, and we're just going to go into getting into activity because that's what we're doing. It's an activity. It's a Facebook event. So we go there and we just look down here and we see one-on-ones and groups and follow-up. It's that simple. We tell people we do one-on-ones and groups. Like that's what we do, right? And then if you go into groups, then you're going to find the Facebook event. So it's coming up for you guys. Okay, did that change for y'all? Can you see where it says groups? Okay, so I'm going to stop the share and restart so y'all can see the actual screen I'm on. Okay, this is where it gets like I have to do this a couple of times. Now you should see groups.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So let me let Claire in. Clara. Oh, Clara. Clara. Okay, so you guys, this is actually where all of the information, hey, Clara, is for a Facebook event. It's good to see you, by the way. So I'm just showing them right now, like how we set them up and how we, schedule posts or whatever, So we actually have our team website for Clara's sake, you guys, successandsimplicitynations.com. I might have given you that already, Clara, but the password to the resources is ENVP, like Executive National Vice President, all small, lowercase letters. So I went into team resources. I went to group. We have groups and one-on-ones. I went to groups, and then I found the Facebook party. And so I'm going to go into the Facebook party, and y'all let me know if that didn't change for you. Did it change? Does it say 15-minute
Yes.
Facebook party?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we just used 4 themes, and y'all, we got this from Jessica Champagne. We've gotten some really great information from Ashley Stone. And so this is kind of what ours looks like. So it's a step-by-step guide. We have like how to ask somebody. This is like if you didn't know how to do a Facebook event, if you were just like, I think Cynthia, you said, I've never done one of these. If you were just like, I don't even know what I'm doing, you literally should be able to read through this and do it. You should be able to go step by step. That's the goal. So we have an ask, how to ask to host. And then here where it says setting up the Facebook group, we have 4 themes. And these themes, I'm going to show you my favorite one. I'm just going to go to theme number 3. But the theme, let me just click that and see if it changes for you guys real quick. And then I'll come back to the outline to show you. All right, so Facebook Party Graphics Theme 3. Did that come up for y'all? Let me make sure I'm on the right router. Yes, I am. Okay. All right, no problem. I'll stop and restart the share real fast, and it will, so you guys can see it. Okay, all right. Awesome. So Facebook Party Graphics Theme 3. Did you guys see that? Now? Okay, good. Okay, so these are just the posts that actually go. Thank you, Emily. These are the posts that you're going to use in your Facebook event. So when you're setting up an event, once you do this a couple of times, it'll be like nothing. You'll just be like, oh my gosh. We actually have all of this on boards now too, if anybody is familiar with boards, but I'm just going to show you this today, but just know that I can help you there too. But I basically, what I have done for me is I have my favorite theme that I always use because I just keep it simple. And so I have all of these images downloaded into a file on my computer. And then all you have to do for these posts is just go in and copy the copy here. And these are all the posts that you're going to post to run after the party. I'm going to go back. I just wanted to show y'all where this was. And Cynthia, if you're like, what the heck is she talking about? Don't worry. I know it's a little overwhelming, this part, but I'm going to just come back and just kind of show you how you would like set it up. So we do use groups. So hang on just a minute. All right. So does this kind of make sense where like what I'm even showing y'all right now? Or are y'all just like, what is she talking about? Y'all unmute and tell me. Okay,
Yeah, it
thank
makes
you,
sense.
Emily. Okay, awesome. Okay, so these are just, that's all this is. I'm going to go back to our outline. So let me know if that didn't change. All right, so in the outline, we tell you exactly how to set up the group, and y'all may even have all this. Thank you, Emily. You're my like, thank you. Okay, you may already have something like this to set up your groups, but if you don't, you're welcome to use ours, okay? And then we have these little pro tip things down here, asking your host things that I will tell you the thing that makes mine the most successful groups that I have by far are when the hostess or host is the most engaged. And I know I'm looking sideways, but I'm looking at y'all over here, so the camera's there. But that to me is, that's key. So I try before mine to do the one-page presentation that we use, the overview of Arbonne with my host or hostess. And so that they know, like, to get excited about Arbonne. Hopefully they're already on product. You know, I'm really like, I'm in conversation with them. I'm not just like, hey, you can do a Facebook party for me. Okay, thanks, bye. I'm like dropping off samples or whatever I have to do to really get them excited. And I'm coaching them, you know, to ask people, do they want to be added and that kind of thing. So that makes it really, that's key. And then like we talked about beforehand, the biggest thing is creating those relationships with people, like starting the conversation. Hey, how are you? How do you know so-and-so? You know, oh my goodness, you know, thank you so much for being a part of it. Have you had a chance to watch the live? That's what I was asking people before this, for the one I did at noon. The cool thing about a Facebook event too, for Cynthia's sake, is you can do them. I have a new girl that's like halfway to district now, that she works. She's like full-time working, 2 young kids, whatever, but she has a lunch hour. And so we do all of hers at noon, every single Facebook event. So don't get too hung up on the timing of when you're going to do it. So when people say, well, I don't know if I can be there, I like for the hostess to be watching at the same time, but that is not the biggest thing. It's just not. It hasn't been for us. So that's the cool part about it, is you can fit this in, like you can help your new business partner, or for yourself, you can go live and do the live anytime. And y'all, I can add you to a Facebook event if you want to see like the one I did today, if you want me to add you, or the one we did last week, or I can add you so you can really kind of see it in action and see the actual live if you want to. Okay, so that's all this is. I'm not going to walk through everything because that would take forever, but this is just like host coaching and 3-way messaging, like how to ask the host to start the 3-way message, because some people won't accept your friend request. I know y'all probably know that if you do these. So you friend everybody, and if they don't accept your friend request, they'll never see your direct message. So you have to ask your hostess, you know, would you mind connecting me? And that's where it comes. It's really important to have that good relationship with your hostess, so that she knows that you're not going to be a weird person to her people, and you're not going to stalk them. You're just going to be professional and kind, and you're just going to reach out and say, hey, thank you so much for being a part of the event. So we have that. We do ask our hostesses to do that. They don't always. So sometimes it's not perfect. Okay, so that's that. And then scheduling the post. That's the thing I was showing you earlier. We have those 4 different themes you can choose from. And for each one, we have the verbiage and then the little graphic that goes like, you know, it all looks good, looks nice or whatever. We do a little post for a fizz sample, to send out a fizz sample ahead of time. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I might not, because maybe the person said, hey, I want to do it tomorrow, and we don't really have time. So anyway, and then the poll is very important. I do a giveaway for the poll. I do, hey, make sure you vote on the poll, because I'm going to do a giveaway, like a little, you know, fit kit or something small and easy to give. But I ask them to vote on the poll so that I can know what their interest is, you know. And then from there, I'll let you guys like read through this at your leisure, because I want to kind of explain a couple other tips, because this call is like about tips and things that I find that work well for us. But from there, it's just about the post, you know. So you've got like a healthy living hack post, it's almost party time, and then you've got all the rest of the posts which you are going to schedule ahead so that they start running after your event. Okay, does that make sense so far, you guys? Kind of, sort of. Thank you, Emily.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good, yay. Okay, and then just so you know, this is here. we say go live ahead of time and do a little live intro about, hey, I just wanted to pop in and say hello to you guys. I can't wait to see you later. My name is Polly, just a little ice story, 2-minute, 3-minute thing. And then you don't do such a long thing on the 15-minute script. Mine usually run between 15 and 20, but never over 20 minutes. So usually 15, 18 minutes. And you'll just get better and better at that, you guys. So I don't want to talk really fast on mine. So I've just learned, kind of what is the most important thing. But we do have a script here, this big green button. If y'all can see that, click here, Facebook Party script. We have a script if you need it. That's just like, this is who we are. And then here's a little bit about health and healthy living. And here's or about nutrition. Here's a little bit about skincare, makeup, if you're going to do the ready in 5. Okay, so I just wanted to show y'all this, and then we have some follow-up posts. This is where everything is, which you are welcome to go in and just study, take from, do whatever you want. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share because I like to see faces and see if they're so totally confused or not. Clara, what do you think? So far, so good.
Oh, this is awesome.
Do y'all have this already? Do you feel like this is like, oh, I've got that, I know that?
I actually have it on board, but I like it better on this website. Do you mind sharing the passcode?
Oh, no, I already did. I'm sorry that you didn't hear it. Yes, it's ENVP. So Executive National Vice President. Oh. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. So yeah.
I think a lot of us want to be added to one of your existing Facebook parties.
Absolutely. Yes. I'll add y'all to as many as you want. But I think, for me, I'll just, throw out a couple of tips, and like maybe somebody else might have some tips as well. So, the mechanics of it, we all might have already, right? And like you said, boards, whether it's on boards or here, and might be little differences there. But for me, I find the thing that has served me well, the most important things are connecting ahead of time. Oh, thank you, Nicole. Okay. I tend to be a giver. My husband thinks I overgive, but I don't think you ever can. So I tend to, if I'm, people aren't just right away, we do use recommended cart a lot. So what I'll do after the event, I'm making conversation and talking, and where do you, where do your interests lie? And then I'll say, would you like for me to send you a recommended cart? So that's been huge. I know y'all probably do that too, but would you like for me to send you a recommended cart with some things and let you kind of see? And that's huge, right? We have a 90-day money back guarantee. So you don't have to send samples. However, for me personally, if for some reason, like it's just not, not everybody's going to be like, okay, let me sign up or whatever, then I will send out a little something, and just a little nice note. It might just be a fizz and a tea. Sometimes it's the age old if they're specific. And then my last tip that I will share, because I know you guys have some amazing tips as well, is for us, we look at this as, of course, the gateway to bring people in, and to my goal. And I know you're shaking your head, and you know this, but our goal is to find people, right? Find people to talk to. And then I'm finding out, hey, can I create enough of a relationship with that person to hopefully get them to a one-on-one, one-page presentation, which will maybe lead to, and of course, a lot of times they just buy and they become preferred clients, but eventually I like the one-on-one. So I try to get to that one-on-one conversation with them with the one-page presentation, is Arbonne for you. And then that in turn is gonna hopefully turn into another host or a business partner, or for a client. But it always happens, like, I'm always like, I don't know how that the visual for that should be, because I'm always like, it's like, sometimes they come in here, sometimes they come in here, sometimes they're here, but our goal is that. So, and multiple exposures. So that's what I had, and I will add you guys. I will, you can have like I said, use whatever you need. If you need our boards, I can add you to that, whatever you need. Like, we're better together, and that's always how I've been. So what are some tips that you guys have?
Can I ask you a question, Polly?
Yes.
So we were doing a lot of these parties when we were in lockdown, right? Because it's the only thing that we could do.
Yeah.
And then my team just felt like, and I felt like my team just lost steam because they were, it's like everybody was doing it.
Right.
Every network marketing company was doing it. Have you felt that too? And have you changed the way you're asking people to host, or are you asking the same way?
For me, Angela, yes, I can add you to the board. For me personally, I tend to do a lot of them with people who are a new business partner, or, I mean, I'm still asking myself, like I just, I had booked 2 today. We had a little call to action last night to book 8, and so I booked 2 today. And so yes, I felt that for a little bit, but I find like just new people coming in, for me, it just keeps it new and fresh. And so like I have a new girl right now that I'm working with, and it's all completely different, like, all these Louisiana people, like so I guess for me, I don't find that. And then I'm always looking to make a relationship in that party to book with their friends. So I haven't personally felt like it was, like I'm not going to the same people, and I know you're not either, but I know what you're saying. So I haven't really changed I'm very personal in my ask. I will say that, I'm very like, hey, I'm not just like copy and paste, copy and paste, copy. I don't do that. It just doesn't work for me. I don't like it. I can send you some asks,
Can I
some
ask
of
you
my
another
asks.
question?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Can I ask another question? What do you do to get people on live, right? Because that's the key, right? I mean, obviously the replay is great, but is there something that you highly recommend?
Because we are really like, especially, and everybody might be different about this, but with like new people, because some are with business partners, sometimes their schedule is so different. Like I was just sharing with them, I've got this girl, Paige, and she's a physical therapist and 2 kids, and she's crazy, 2 little ones. So we do her lives at noon. And they seem to be working well. And we don't always have a lot of people on live. It's just the relationship building. I don't find the live part for me is a huge, like, I maybe it's just because it's not my focus. I'm more focused on like like I was sharing, I think before you got on, Clara, that we look at it like, if I said to you and you were my client, hey, Clara, or in my head, I said, hey, I'm going to just start reaching out to all Clara's friends, on Facebook. I'm just going to start friending them and I'm going to reach out. That would be super weird. Like people would be like, who is this person? But if you have a Facebook event for me and you bring them all together in that, and then I'm friending them and then I'm reaching out, they're like, oh, well, okay, that's because I'm in her Facebook event. And so really that's how I personally look at it. Like I really am just utilizing this as a means to have a reason to reach out to other people. I don't think personally the live I think it's important, obviously, but to me, that's not the magic. The magic is the connections. And y'all might feel differently. What about you guys? Do y'all feel, what about you, Emily?
I feel like, I feel the same as you, that it doesn't matter so much if they watch the live. It's more about whether or not they accept my friend request, and I can start building the relationship. I've been basically following the same format for myself and my team as what you just showed us with the fizz stick and all of that. And I'm curious. So what you said, Clara, like we were doing great back in March. I was having like 20 parties in a month between launching people and then doing more parties with their people and my own parties. And I have had like 1 party a month for the past 5 months, like 4 or 5 months. Like I can get anyone, and it's not for lack of trying, right? Like I am asking 3 to 5 people a day. Will you host? Will you look at the business? Can we have a one-on-one conversation? Like, pardon, we're still recording. So effing crickets. I don't want to change up the system, right? Because, like we know it does work. Like I did have 1 party last week. I had a Facebook party and there were 13 people there. and everyone was very engaged and no one bought anything. No one responded to any of my messages about what are you interested in, that, like, which is fine. They don't have to buy anything, but the relationship building process has also stalled because they won't respond. So I'm like feeling very curious about like, how are you getting 8 a month still? Because like I'm just really curious about how it's working for people.
Yeah, and if you want, it might be helpful. I don't know, but it might be helpful if I send you guys some of my ask. That might, I don't know, because I don't know that verbiage is always the magic. I do a lot too. I ask about 5 a day. And some of it is if I've like, yes, Annette, would you say? You had your hand up.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I've really thought a lot about this because I've been doing some mindset work, and I caught myself in the same thing. Like every time I think nobody will, then nobody won't, so that's been really something. Now I've been lucky this summer. All of the seeds from the past 12 months have really born, is that born or bared? I don't know, fruit, for fruit. And so my July was actually great, even though I was in a personal real slump. And I think that's kind of where I had to be honest with myself. I was the one who was in a slump. I was down. I had personal stuff going on and stuff. And then so my August was slower too. It's actually true. Like I asked very simple things, like send me a picture of a shake from people that I know are having shakes every single day. Nobody would send me a single picture. I was giving them stuff. I was having lotions. I was having like things that I know they wanted and nothing. So, I mean, part of that is that summer thing, everybody gets kind of lethargic in the summer. And so mid-August, I really got my energy back personally, and I could feel it. I could feel my whole thing of like, okay, so I started doing some content things, like what do I want to put out? What things do I want to, like, if I want to run the conversation, instead of just saying like, hey, how's your day going? And everybody's like, to just kind of lead the conversation. Let's talk about this. I saw you posting that, like you said that, would you like to know more? Ask questions like you're saying with the connection. So the end of my August picked up great again. And I was curious about my personal question is, what would you say in people's being used to Zooms and Facebook messages and parties and all that kind of stuff, what would you say is different today from a year ago? Because about a year and a half ago, these things were kind of new and emerging. And now we're kind of like old, what do you call that? Like experienced with these things, and we kind of pick and choose what we want. And, what would you say is like a big like difference in how to approach it now?
Well, for me, and y'all, I just have a couple more minutes, but y'all can stay on my Zoom if you want, because I've got to switch to another one. I don't know. I guess I might have to think about that question and get back to you, but because I feel like I'm doing the same thing, but maybe I'm not. I do a lot of voice messaging. I do that. I don't just like, I do a lot of voice messaging. I just find it better. I can really say, I can just be me and say, hey, Annette, hope you're having an amazing day. I wanted to reach out because, blah, blah, blah. And like, I feel like with my voice, I can, create more, I don't know, just connection. It's connection. And so that seems to be good for me. And also, people, they'll get back to me a lot, and I just look at it like there's something happening in their life right now that they just can't do it. And so I really do try to remember that. Like, and normally they will, like I had a girl that said she was going to host last month, and I followed up, and then, I didn't hear back. And then I got a message the other day, and she's like, I am so sorry. Can you give me one more month? Of course. She's doing me a favor. Of course. I do tend to give a lot. So I do sometimes offer like a free gift. I look at it like, and my coupon code, but I look at that as the greatest thing somebody can do for me, is if they can introduce me to their network, it is the absolute greatest thing. So I know that a lot of people can't just give and give and give, but if I have a bunch of extra little things, I'm like, hey, I'd be glad to pop a little goodie in the mail for you. I'd be so grateful. I always say that I'd be so grateful if you could help me, and I'm just looking to connect to people. So I'll send you some of
Yeah,
my
I think that's
verbiage. Yeah, I'm glad to do that for you. It might be tomorrow, but I'll get it to you. Okay. And I'll add you all tonight. And I know this is such a great conversation though, you guys. We learn so much from each other. I love it. I'm sorry that I have to go. We decided to do a team call about the new qualifications to kind of get everybody like, whoop. So
right. Thank you so
but
much.
Holly.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. This is
Yeah.
great.
For your time.
yes, of course, y'all, if you want to stay on, feel free to, but we can keep talking. And Emily, I want to talk some more about what we talked about too with the
Yeah.
whatever, getting together team wise. And
We'll
Claire,
continue.
mwah, mwah, mwah. Hugs, Claire. All right, bye you guys, and send me another message
Okay,
if
bye,
you think about it,
everybody.
like what I can do for you. Okay, but I've got the recording, so I'll look back at the chat. All right, bye.
Thank you.
Holly.
Bye.